It's time for the Potawatomi Fire Coaches Corner, featuring three-time TBL Coach of the Year, Mark Danhoff, with special guest, two-time TBL MVP, Chuck Guy. And now, here's the host of the Coaches Corner, Chris Cox.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Coaches Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm Chris Cox. I'm joined by Fire head coach Mark Danhoff, and later on today I'll be joined by the man of the hour in TBL, Chuck Guy. But, Coach, starting with you, 2 games this past weekend, 2 more big victories. You all are now 16-0 on the year. What were your thoughts on the weekend as a whole?
Yeah, I was really proud of us, the way we came out and played, especially at the starts we had. Going on the road and winning at Muskogee was, a tough game against a very good team. But to get out of there with a win, was exciting for us. And then to come back home where we haven't been in a while and get to play again in front of the best fans in TBL, and then have the performance we had, there wasn't a whole lot we could really say about it. We enjoyed the opportunity against 2 really quality teams, and we're glad we came out successful.
Looking at that Muskogee game, you all had to travel to Muskogee, and you made the most of the trip, winning 153-96. You hadn't played in, almost 2 weeks prior to that because of just the issues that happened in San Antonio, but you got off to a strong start, and that really seemed to propel your Fire forward when it could have been a game where a slow start might have been almost expected after not playing so long.
Yeah, I think our guys were really ready to play.
Okay.
They had missed the opportunities to play over the last week, and they just enjoyed competing at a high level. So I really wasn't worried too much. And our practices are designed, to be harder than the game anyway. So I knew that we were going to be ready, and especially since we hadn't played, our guys were really chomping at the bit to get out there and play somebody else.
When you look at the game offensively, Katie Moore finished with 29 points, 10 rebounds to lead your team in scoring. Chuck Guy, and what turned out to just kind of be a little appetizer for him against Muskogee, had 25 points, a then team record 23 assists, 6 rebounds, 6 steals. And in total, 7 players finished in double figures, as once again, you really just spread the scoring around.
Yeah, it's something that's really special about this team. We average 30-plus assists a game. Their willingness to pass up a good shot for a great shot, their commitment to the open man as the go-to man, and really spreading the basketball around and sharing the basketball is just so impressive night after night.
As good as the offense was, the defense just as good against Muskogee. You held Muskogee to just 35% shooting from the field, 17% from 3. You forced 23 turnovers. You really had to be happy with what you saw defensively.
Yeah, I was very pleased on the defensive end. I think we're getting better every game, every day. I really thought we locked down well and took away the things that they like to do, and they shoot a lot of threes. There's a lot of one-on-one point of attack where you have to sit down and guard. I thought we did an excellent job with that. We were in the gaps. We rotated to help when needed and not overhelp when we didn't have to, and finish possessions with a rebound. And I'm really pleased the direction we're trending on that end of the floor.
Looking at the Dallas game on Sunday, I don't really know where to start except for just with the final score, 191-85. Have you ever been a part of a game like that?
No, I can't say that I have. And it was just a very unusual game. Obviously, Dallas is very talented. They're young. They were missing some pieces, which certainly affected their game that night. And we happened to play extremely well. So they kind of got hit from both sides, and to their credit, they continued to play hard, and gave us everything they had.
Here's a quick rundown of the team records that were broken on Sunday, and we'll get into individual ones here in a little bit. But most points scored, largest margin of victory, most assists, most steals, most field goal made, and highest field goal percentage. 6, I believe that's 6, maybe 7 brand new team records.
Wow. Well, like we've talked about many times, I think those things are all, really great. For us, it's really more about, where did we get better at that night? What things did we do really well? What are some things that we need to work on and get better as we progress towards the playoffs and finish out the regular season? I'm excited for the team and excited for the guys and all the things that they're accomplishing this year. And it's just another addition to some of them, the legacy they're leaving behind, and the new guys continue to build on that legacy that we're putting together here. But like I said, for us, it's that one step we're on that one night, and we're happy about all the positive things that are happening and the records that are being set. But at the same time, that step was 2 days ago,
right,
and we're already moved on, and we have to focus on the next step, which happens to be Enid this week.
I still want to talk about that last step, the Dallas
That's
step.
okay.
But the domination in that game came from all facets, and we'll talk about Chuck here in just a little bit, but you look at that game, Ricky Artis the second, Willie Warren, they really got you guys going. They both finished with 20 points, most of their scoring coming in the first half. Katie Moore led the team in scoring with 40 points, and Jamal and Isaiah were both big off the bench for your Fire. I mean, it was kind of a pick your poison type day on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough day for Dallas. So many guys were, just running on highest cylinders there were, and they were playing at the highest level, and it just seemed like no matter what they decided to do or adjustments they make, they just didn't have enough to cover everybody playing the way they did. I really loved the way Rick got started and got us started the other day. I thought Willie was fantastic early on as well, and they both played great games. Jamal coming off the bench and not only having the ability to shoot the three, but to score the basketball, and he's still very unselfish in the process. And Isaiah is just having an amazing year.
Yeah, he is.
And really, in my opinion, has to be a strong candidate for sixth man in TBL this year. I'm sure there's others out there having really good years as well, but he certainly has to be in the conversation. Hedge is hedge every day, and he just gives you what you need, and when you need him, he's ready to go, and when you need to sit him down and go to the bench, he's very acceptable of that. He loves his teammates. He's a wonderful teammate to the entire team, and he gets excited for everybody else's success as much as his.
Now moving on to talk about Chuck Guy, the man of the hour on Sunday. He recorded the Fire's first ever quadruple double, finishing with 33 points, 15 rebounds, a team record 10 steals, and a team and TBL record 39 assists. We've seen him do incredible things in a Fire uniform, but Sunday's game has to take the cake.
It reminded me, before we get to Chuck, the team in general reminded me of a year ago where, I don't pay attention to who has what, how many points, how many assists, things like that. There's only one number on the board I get overly concerned about, and that's are we scoring more points than they are at that time. And you get to a point where sometimes you go to sub some people out, and the bench is saying, no, that's okay. Yeah. Or I'll go in for someone else, but I'm not going in for him. And last year when Chuck had that 50-point game, and I didn't know he was that close to it, and I subbed, and the guy's like, no, I'll sit out. Everybody's volunteering to sit out and leave Chuck in to have that night. That's how it was the other night. Everybody wants to play, but when guys are close to doing something really special, they're okay with that, and nobody wanted to go in and take Chuck out. They wanted to leave him out there, and that's an amazing sign of respect and incredible teammates. And he would do the same for them without a question. And he had such a remarkable night, and there were so many really good. You mentioned Katie's performance throughout the entire game, and in Muskogee as well, just playing so well and scoring the ball at a high level. But Chuck's performance the other night, certainly, and he'll tell you it was a team effort. You can't do everything by yourself.
You got to have players score if you want to get the assists.
And he'll be more excited about the fact that we won and how well we're playing and how much we're getting better and the way we're trending than he will about his performance himself, even though he knows it was remarkable, incredible, and something that most of us had never witnessed and may never witness again.
Yeah, and the 39 assists, that's the big shiny number, and that's going to get a lot of attention, as it rightfully should. But he also had 10 steals, which was a Fire record, and he shot 73% from the field. I mean, nothing is perfect. No game is perfect, and Chuck will probably look at, I think, the 2 turnovers that he had and think about those more than he will the 39 assists. But I mean, Sunday for him and for the team as a whole was as close to perfect, I think, as it can get.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot you could pick apart.
Right.
We just played on such a high level, and it went all the way down the line, 1 through 11. and everybody came in, did their job, did it on a high level. Everybody shared the basketball, defended. Everybody held everybody else accountable to do their job, and it really wasn't that hard because everybody was doing what they were supposed to do when they were supposed to be doing it, and because of that, that's why we were successful.
Following a game like that where you set all sorts of records, what do you tell your team to get them to turn the page and get ready for this weekend?
Yeah, and brief meeting today, just talk briefly about what we did accomplish this weekend, and we really didn't even talk about the records. We just talked about the things we did well, like holding Dallas to under 40% shooting, and less than 25% from the three-point line, how we had so many assists compared to so few turnovers, how we valued the ball and took care of it, and how we shared it. Those were all the things. But then the conversation just shifts. Well, that was 2 nights ago. All right, now we've got 2 games again this weekend, and we have our third of 4 games in 8 days.
Yeah.
So we have a quick turnaround. Our mentality has to be, we'll place that aside for now, and we have to focus on what's ahead of us, because if we allow what happens in the past to creep into where we are in the moment, it can affect the outcome and affect where we're at and how we play the next game. It's just like if we look too far ahead, if we start thinking about the playoffs, that affects us in the moment. We've got to stay in that moment. We've got to stay in the eye of the hurricane, because it's the most calm area, and we talk about it all the time. Just stay in. Doesn't matter what everything else that's going on around you. Stay in the eye of hurricane. Keep your focus, and we'll just take one step at a time, and wherever it leads us, it leads us.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a break, and when Coach Danoff and I come back, we will talk about the next steps that the Fire will be taking against the Enid Outlaws and, again, the Dallas Stampede. This is the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Battershell, and I have relocated and continue serving family medicine clients at the Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee. I love what I do, and it's an honor to serve my patients. Please call Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee if I may be of service for you.
Greatness isn't born, it's forged. It's in the sweat, the grind, and the sacrifices we make. It's in the choices we face every day, from the strength we build in the gym to what we fuel our bodies with. How steel sharpens steel, we push one another to be better, stronger, sharper. We find strength not just in ourselves, but in those who stand with us, on the field, on the court, and in life. Because every choice matters. Every drop of effort, every ounce of fuel. Together, we're not just chasing goals. We're building stronger bodies, sharper minds, and healthier lives. Greatness is in the moments that test us, the choices that fuel us, and the people who push us. BioSteel is built for those moments. Every step, every play, every day, steel sharpens steel.
Big internet companies make a lot of promises, but Vive's fiber-rich network delivers blazing fast multi-gig speeds without the big company runaround or inflated prices. To the big guys, you're just a number. To us, you're a neighbor. Vive Broadband, proud to be your hometown connection.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm Chris Cox. I'm joined by 3-time TBL Coach of the Year, Mark Danoff. And Coach, before we look at this week's game, the Fire actually brought in a new player last week in Vincent Bowman. Vincent is a veteran center. He's had a few stints in TBL. He's played all over the world. What can you tell Fire fans about Vincent and the type of player that he is?
Yeah, Vince is a guy that we've had conversations with over the last few years. And things have always not worked out where he's either gone overseas or decided to stay close to home, due to his basketball schedule and the teams he's going to play for throughout the summers and things like that. So this time he just got back, and he couldn't believe he's already here. He didn't know what he was going to do when he got back, and next thing you know, he's actually here, and he seems very excited, and we're excited to have him. He's a veteran post player who can stretch the floor, strong, physical guy, competes on a high level. We thought we needed somebody like Vince to come in and give us additional depth in the post and provide us that rebounding defensive stature down there, who could be physical and rebound and run the floor and make shots. And he's just an excellent addition for us. We're so excited and just privileged to have him. And we can't wait as he continues to learn the system and learn
Right.
the things that we're doing. You can see him out there now. He's kind of hesitant on a few things because he's trying to figure out and what he's supposed to do. But basically, we've told him just play and have fun.
Yeah.
And the guys will help you get through it. And they were great today in practice as well. But we're extremely excited to have him here. And I know today he was talking about how grateful he was to be here and how much he's really enjoying getting to know the guys and looking forward to the remainder of the season.
He's obviously a really talented player, but what are just some reasonable expectations for him this season, given that there's only 3 more regular season games and then about 3 to 4 weeks of playoff action?
Yeah, we explained what his role would be. He has embraced it, and he's excited about it. Your role can always develop and grow.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a short time span until playoffs, but really right now we want to spend the next couple weeks developing him and getting him to fit into the system where he's confident in it, understands it, and do the things that we need to do on both ends, which I don't think it'll take him much time at all being the veteran he is. We just want him ready for playoffs.
Looking at this week's games, your Fire played twice. You host Enid on Thursday, and then you travel to Dallas for a Saturday afternoon game with the Stampede once more. You're in the midst of 4 games in 8 days. How's everybody feeling so far?
Yeah, today I thought we might feel a little banged up, a little tired yet, but everybody got treatment, took care of themselves, and we had a ton of energy in practice today. It was a really good practice.
After Sunday, it makes sense.
Yeah, but usually after a day off, there might be a little sluggish. The
Okay.
energy might take a minute to get going, but not today. They were in, got after it, jumped right into everything we were doing. A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of fun, and also a lot of focus. So after a day off, it probably was one of our better practices we've had after a day off.
You start this week, a tough home game against the Enid Outlaws. This is an incredibly hot Enid team. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. Both those losses, though, have come to your Fire. What, though, is Enid doing that's allowed them to play so well of late?
Yeah, I just think they've really found themselves.
Okay.
I think they've found who their starters are, who their rotations are and substitutions. I think everybody's embracing what their roles are. They're really playing together. They seem to be connected on all levels. They're always going to play hard. They're going to defend, and they're going to execute their stuff. And they're doing a really good job of doing just that. And I think that's a big part of why they're being successful. Is just that complete buy-in, and truly looks like they like playing together.
Defensively, the Outlaws, they've been playing pretty well all year, but really over the last 10 games, they're giving up just 103 points per game. What's made their defense so effective?
Yeah, they're physical. They're good at the point of attack. They're up in the gaps. They really sink to the ball level. Their rotations have gotten better each time we watch them play. They continue to challenge three-point shots. And they're getting back in transition, not giving up as many easy baskets as early in the season. They've continued to just get better each game. Obviously, the big guys in the middle can protect the rim, which allows them to get out and pressure up further on the floor. And everybody's doing a good job, and they're tough on that end of the floor.
Offensively, things have really been coming along of late for Enid. They're averaging over 113 points per game in those last 10 games. What have they found offensively that's been starting to work for them?
Well, I think they've been pretty good offensively most of the year.
Okay.
I think there were some games in there where they just didn't shoot it as well as they're capable, and it probably brought the numbers down. But they've got a lot of guys that can shoot the three, and those guys will shoot it at a high level and know that's their shot. They've also got some guys that are downhill guys and some mid-range guys, and they just know who they are, and those are the shots they take. Not to mention the bigs down there. If you let them get too deep and around the basket, they can finish, and you got to keep them off the glass because they get a lot of their putbacks through both big guys, or actually all three big guys that got down. They get a lot of second chance points because of that. So we've got to be really good there. I think I was looking today, their top 6 guys are scoring 88% of their points. I think it was like 95 out of 108 points are coming from their top 6 guys, and 5 of those guys are perimeter players, so they're just really playing well, and they're playing on a high level. Coach is doing a good job having them prepared. They continue to get better as the season goes on, and that's another sign where coach is doing a terrific job.
Moving on to Saturday now, you take on the Dallas Stampede on Saturday afternoon down in Dallas. You obviously just saw them. We just talked about that game, but what's going to be your message to your team as they get ready to face Dallas once again after that big victory?
Well, it's the same message every night. You're going to respect your opponent, you're going to respect the game, and you're going to respect winning. You're going to do things the right way. I'm assuming they're going to have some of those guys they didn't have the other night back. They seem like a quality group of guys who are going to be prepared and come to play, and we have to do the same thing, which I don't have any question we will. We're on that next step. We don't even think about the last time other than the things that we learned from it.
Okay.
And that's where our focus will be, taking that next step, and they happen to be the opponent that night, and I'm sure they're going to come and show us that, they're not the team we saw the other night. They're a much better team, and the score did not really exemplify who they are.
And then finally, Coach, what will it take for your Fire to get 2 more victories and move to 18-0?
Yeah, we just got to continue to do what we're doing. Play defense at a high level, defend, rebound, get back in transition on the defensive end, make sure we're rotating and finish possessions. On the offensive end, continue to pressure the rim, get our paint touches, play inside out, continue to execute, share the basketball, value the basketball, and then finish on that end as well.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I will be joined by Fire Guard and 2-time TBL MVP Chuck Guy. This is the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Battershell, and I have relocated and continue serving family medicine clients at the Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee. I love what I do, and it's an honor to serve my patients. Please call Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee if I may be of service for you.
Just 3% dehydration. That's all it takes. A 10% drop in strength, 10% less power, 15% less endurance. Would you risk it? When you're dehydrated, your body isn't performing at its peak. Your muscles can't recover. Your game suffers. That's why we created BioSteel. Clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Formulated to keep you performing stronger, longer. No sugar, no compromise. 3% dehydration, 100% preventable. Steel sharpens steel.
Big internet companies make a lot of promises, but Vive's fiber-rich network delivers blazing fast multi-gig speeds without the big company runaround or inflated prices. To the big guys, you're just a number. To us, you're a neighbor. Vive Broadband, proud to be your hometown connection.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm Chris Cox. I'm joined by Fire Guard and 2-time TBL MVP Chuck Guy. And Chuck, thanks for taking a few minutes to sit down with me again.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Last Sunday, Chuck, against Dallas, you had a game that won't ever be forgotten. The first ever quadruple-double in Fire history, and I think also in TBL history. A stat line of 33 points, 15 rebounds, 10 steals, and 39 assists. I can't even believe those numbers are real when you put them together. Now that you're a few days removed from that game, what are your thoughts on that game and specifically your performance?
I mean, as everybody know, I'm willingly ready to pass the ball. Like I want my teammates to get as much success as they can. So, I mean, the 39 assists is crazy, but I mean, I done had 25, 26 assists, and I ain't played the whole game or whatever. But the overall performance, man, it was just really teammates was knocking shots down, so it gave me the chance to get the assist. But honestly, I was trying to come out the game, and they just kept telling me, hey, you need this many assists, you need this many rebounds, you need this many steals. So when I was just at that point, it was just like, all right, let's do it, But It was just trusting my work, man. Every day I come in here and I grind, even when I don't want to grind, I grind, and it just pays off sometimes,
Yeah, and you were talking about how your teammates kind of kept telling you where you were. I know players, for the most part, are at least kind of generally aware of the numbers that they're putting up, but like you said, you were trying to come out of the game. What were your teammates telling you though about like, hey, you have, you're this close to 35 assists or whatever it might be?
So I think it was like third quarter or whatever. Y'all know I really be trying to come out here and pass the ball. If I could break a record for that, I'm willing. I love it. You know what I mean? So I ask Coach Bryce every game, like, how many assists I got? How many, because that's all I don't ask him about nothing else but assists. So it's one of them games where I already had the assists. They was telling me, oh, you need 2 more to break the record. Then here go Cam say, man, you need 2 more rebounds
For a
to have
triple-double,
for the triple double. Then you hear Coach Bryce was like, you need 3 more steals for quadruple. So I'm like, all right. I told Coach to take me out, but then they start telling me that, and everybody else that he was trying to put in for me was like, go and get it, like go ahead, So that's what it was, at that point.
I know, obviously, the game on Friday night against Muskogee, you set the record for assists that night too, and then just blew it out of the water on Sunday. But did you ever think when you're going through and getting all those assists that 39 would be the final number?
Nah, I honestly didn't even. I never thought I would ever have 39 assists in one game.
Yeah.
It was just one of them games where, like I say, they kept me in the game, and everybody was really on point. They was hitting shots, layup after layup. We shot like 80% from the field or something like that.
It wasn't quite 80%. It was 60. I want to say about 65% from the field.
Yeah, that's crazy. So everybody was really on point, and even the ones where I have 17, 18 assists, I know that we missed 12, 13 easy layups, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it was one of the ones where everything was just going in.
Yeah, and I mean, you get if the team as a whole has 39 assists in a game, that's a really good game for the team, and you had that by yourself.
Yeah, and then we took care of the ball. Honestly, we had maybe 11 turnovers, something like that the whole game. I don't know exactly how many assists. Coach said it, but I wasn't
57.
Really. 57, yeah. So that's the turnover ratio, assist turnover ratio right there is crazy, But that's a whole team, and for me to have 39 of them, I'm just blessed.
I was trying to find, in basketball just in general, where 39 would rank, and what I could find, and again, I don't have access to all the databases or everything like that, it's the most in organized American basketball. Sure. It's the most in college. It's the most when you include the NBA. And even high schools that have good record keeping. It's the most at any level. The most I could find besides your 39 was 35 from a high school kid in California a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's the name of my game, though.
Yeah. I've seen on social media, obviously, a lot of guys congratulating you, telling you, about giving their thoughts on the game. But what's kind of been the reception that you've seen just from the basketball community as a whole?
I mean, everybody really just like. That's my 2K player numbers, That's mostly what I've been getting. I mean, everybody congratulating though, just around the world. It's been getting around or whatever. But for me, we on to the next game.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of what I want to get to. After a poor performance, a lot of times people are asked, okay, how do you put that poor performance behind you? How do you forget about that and move on? But after a great performance, a phenomenal performance like you had on Sunday, how do you not relax and rest on your laurels, but get ready for a tough Enid team?
I mean, one thing about me, I'm gonna play hard. That's just how I go. Whether I play bad, whether I play good, the next game I'm gonna come out here and play hard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's where I'm at with it, and I think that's where the team at with it.
Okay. Congratulations again on that incredible game. I know it's one that I'll never forget, and I'm guessing probably one that you and Coach and the rest of your teammates will never forget too.
Oh yeah, this one that stuck with me forever.
All right, Chuck. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, and I look forward to catching up with you throughout the rest of the regular season and the playoffs as CG4 looks for championship number 4.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Coach's Corner. The Fire in action twice this week. First, tomorrow, Thursday night, the Fire will take on the Enid Outlaws. It's the final home game of the regular season. It's also Vive night, so the Fire players will be wearing special Vive-branded jerseys on Thursday. That game will tip off at 7 p.m. right here inside Fire Lake Arena. You can get tickets to that game at PotawatomiFire.com/tickets or by calling the Fire Lake Arena box office. And then on Sunday, the Fire will hit the road, go down to Dallas, take on the Stampede once more. That game on Saturday will be at 3 p.m. at the Singing Hills Rec Center in South Dallas. If you can't make it to either game, you can always catch the games on TBL TV and also hear my call of the game on KGFF radio. The Fire also want to let you know about the dance team competition that's going on. The Potawatomi Fire Girls currently in that dance team competition, and this week it's all about the fan dances. So fans go to the Fire Girls Instagram page, learn the dance, then record the dance, post the dance yourself, tag the Fire Girls, tag TBL, and help the Fire Girls try to win that dance contest and maybe win another best overall dance team. And then finally today, the season tickets will be on sale soon. Playoff tickets will be on sale soon as the Potawatomi Fire get set for the playoffs. Still don't know first round opponents and exactly when things will get going, but again, those tickets will be on sale soon, so be on the lookout for that. That's going to do it for us today. For Fire Guard and record breaker Chuck Guy and head coach Mark Danoff, I'm Chris Cox, and I'll talk to you next time right here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network.